Welcome to Bastard Quest. I'm the Game Bastard Kyle.
Hello, I'm Todd.
I'm Corey.
I'm Austin.
Tonight, we are continuing to play ACHTUNG Cthulhu, The Shadows of Atlantis. In case you are not aware, Shadows of Atlantis and ACHTUNG Cthulhu are from Modiphius, 2D20 system. It's about fighting Nazis and Lovecraftian horrors against the backdrop of the Second World War.
Yeah, the Second World War would have been a breeze if it were not for the Cthulhus.
No, yeah. That was the big problem.
If we'd only had magic.
Yeah. No, there were Nazi scientists who were tasked with, can you make the Cthulhu a real thing?
I don't know if it's apocryphal, but supposedly Stalin wanted an army of, ape men.
Specifically?
Well, okay.
Yeah, I've heard that. I've never seen any historical backup.
Weren't the Nazis also seriously trying to figure out time travel and all this weird shit?
Maybe. I mean, there were a lot of weird research programs
Plenty
going
of
on.
options, yeah.
Well, they were filled with regret, so.
Yeah, the Italians were trying to create jaguar women.
Right? We're probably.
You don't want to date them.
It's just a bunch of Nazi soldiers following Roger Corman movies.
Yeah, it was
templates for success.
Well,
Step
Wonder Woman too.
Step 1, Holocaust. Step 2, time travel. Step 3, profit.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the Nazi research and development was notoriously inefficient and just horrible, to negative effect. Like, the Germans came out with arguably two of the most sophisticated tanks in the war, the Tiger and the Panther. You don't need two super good tanks. You just need the one, really.
Right, and the fact that they ran, they had to have the heart of a tiger and a panther to run, made it
hard.
Very unfeasible.
It's hard to find those in Central Europe.
It really is.
Good for the transmission.
I mean,
though.
once you go to the zoo, and then after that, it's like, what do we do now? We don't know.
Smuggle them in.
How do you think we got Teslas?
The heart of Nikola Tesla is in every.
Yeah, there's only one Tesla car. It's just shared.
Yeah, they're doing well.
Yeah.
Expensive, though.
So, what characters are you guys playing tonight?
I'm Sven. Sven is a resistance leader. He is from Norway. He hates the black sun, and he hates police, and he can use the magics.
I'm playing. Actually, I'm switching it up. I'm playing Sergeant Michael Attacker.
Oh, okay.
Mike Attack.
Yeah, I'm playing former Beastie Boy. I'm playing Corporal Sarah Walker and her trusty dog Operly.
And I'm Pierre Walsh, adventurer and occult artifact black market dealer.
From Canada.
Yeah.
So, if you haven't listened to the previous episodes in this arc of Shadows of Atlantis, you should go back and do that. If you don't want to, if you're feeling recalcitrant, just know that they're in Rome, searching.
The fuck does recalcitrant mean?
The same thing as chitinous.
Listen, Kyle, you saw what happened when I used the word piratical.
We're all learning. Speaking of learning things, we got some info from one of our Patreon subscribers. Last week we introduced Sarah's new skill, they don't like it hup-em.
Sure.
And and one of our Patreon subscribers over there in the Great Britain, that's what they call it.
yeah, sure.
The Great Britain.
He's a very learned man, Dan Saul. He posted today on our Patreon, they don't like it because we release these early in the Patreon for non-Patreon people. They don't like it up-em was very much a phrase in use during the war and is a particularly jingoistic way of saying violence is the only language they, whoever that might be, understand. The thank God ex-Prime Minister Boris Johnson recently used it in Parliament, so it's still used in England.
Oh, fantastic.
Oh, they don't like it up them.
Yeah.
It's still a thing. Okay.
Yeah.
It does not surprise me at all that Boris Johnson would use that phrase in the modern day.
Rest in peace.
So also, in case you're not aware, right now is the season of the snake from Modiphius. They're marketing a new North African campaign book for ACHTUNG Cthulhu called The Serpent and the Sands.
Ooh.
It's pretty good.
What's
it's
that
pretty
about?
cool. Well, it's about sand and also, actually, surprisingly, chimpanzees.
I see.
Yeah. No, I'm assuming it has something to do with serpent people in Egypt.
Well, they reach a certain
Sahara.
age and they start tearing your testicles off.
Yeah. No, that's science.
Canon.
Yeah. Chimpanzee turns
That's third
4.
down the line.
Yeah.
First comes the hands,
Well, that's cool.
then the face.
We're big fans of Modifius and especially the ACHTUNG Cthulhu stuff. So
Yeah, this is my favorite game they have.
Yeah, it's very cool. So if you're looking for new stuff to play in ACHTUNG Cthulhu, check out The Serpent in the Sands. It is a North Africa 10-part campaign against the invidious Ophidians.
yeah.
New faction of enemies.
Yeah, I'm
No,
not.
they were in the war. Yeah. Gave our boys a lot of trouble over there in the
From the
trenches or whatever. was
They
happening.
don't like it up them.
Austro-Ophidian Empire.
Yes.
But yeah, check that out. We may play that next.
Down.
Next, I mean, at the rate we go, it'd be like 4 years.
We'll see how our characters fare in the Atlantis campaign.
My hopes is they don't. They die. So last session, we ended on a cliffhanger, if you will, where Pierre...
I found a lizard hand and then I screamed.
So he was inside a Calavaro's stationery shop, which was a front for some British spies that they were trying to find. It's the middle of the day in Rome. Outside are 2 plainclothes police officers that you guys identified as clearly watching this shop for anybody that would come along. Sven and Sarah had been distracting them so that Pierre could get inside. And clearly the two of you hear Pierre cry out in alarm. And the police officers hear this as well. And they are turning, and they are clearly going to take some kind of action. One of them is pulling out a whistle. Remember, this is 1939. Not everybody's carrying around walkie-talkies or anything. So police would commonly use whistles to signal. If you're very young, that might be more learning for you. One of them is just starting to move across the street to go into the stationery shop. What are you guys doing?
So is the one next to us, is that the one pulling his whistle out?
No. That's the guy turning toward the shop, about to step into the street.
Luckily, I have a friend who moves at the speed of dog.
Yeah, the one pulling out a whistle, he's just stood up from a bench, probably 50 feet down the street, looking toward the shop.
Sarah sicks Operly towards the whistle.
Now, it is my duty to point out, this is Rome
Yes.
during the day, 1939. There
Yeah.
are people everywhere.
Yeah, but dogs were even less well-behaved than they are now back then.
That's
so,
true.
These random whistle-snatching dogs were everywhere
Everywhere.
back
Okay.
then.
So we're going to be in combat. We're in initiative. You guys are surprising them, basically. So you can take the first move
Yeah, Sarah sends Operly after the whistle cop
to do.
to get the whistle away from him, because I think that will slow down any reinforcements that may come.
Sure. What skill are you going to use for this? I mean, he's got it in his hand. He's raising it to his lips.
I assume agility and athletics then.
Yeah, that sounds right to me.
Okay, his agility's 11, his athletics is 2. So
Okay.
target number 13 to get the whistle.
So he's got to run 50 feet, jump through the air, snag it in his teeth.
Plan C, boy, is get the whistle.
Right. I'm going to say that's difficulty 3.
Okay. Kyle, I don't think we've done this yet. Even though I'm playing the same character, can Sarah give assistance to Operly?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, you're not.
Yeah.
Those are 2 different characters. You're just controlling both of them.
Okay, cool. Sarah sends so much love towards Operly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks to their constant training over the years together, Operly is even more prepared to snatch whistles.
I see.
Mostly slide whistles. He hates those.
And what skill do you think Sarah is using to help Operly in this situation?
I would say this is insight and tactics, maybe, because of their training together. Or coordination and tactics.
I don't know. Insight's all about
think-
instinct.
Yeah, I think insight and tactics.
Okay. So since she's helping, she just rolls 1 die to see if she can get him an additional help.
Yes, that's correct. You just roll 1 die, and if you get a success, you can give it to them, but they have to roll at least 1 to carry over your success.
Okay, Sarah's insight is 9, her tactics is 3, and she has a focus in battlefield tactics, which this is obviously the heart of the battle, so I think that applies.
This is not the battlefield.
Have you been to Italy?
I have.
Okay.
I've been to Rome twice.
Well,
It reminded me not at all of a combat zone.
you didn't fight nobody over there.
It's not true.
Try that.
I went to the Vatican. And I said, "This is for Jesus."
The Southern Baptist variety.
Yeah.
Cool.
There was some white smoke after Kyle left.
That's right. Said, "Eat this, pontiff."
Red smoke.
Okay, so 1 die, target number is 12.
That's right.
That's a 9.
So that's one success.
Okay, so that essentially brings Operly's target number down to 2.
I mean, well, sort of.
It gives him 1 success.
It gives him 1 success,
Gotcha.
which he gets to count if he does well.
Okay, so Oberly's agility is 11, his athletics is 2, so target number 13. I am rolling 2d20 on this one.
Now, also just to note, the complication range will be 18, 19, and 20 since it's difficulty 3.
That is a 2 and a 2.
Nice.
Nice. So that's 3 successes. That's what you need. So this Italian secret police officer is putting this whistle to his lips, and you hear, "Row, row," and
Which is Oberly speaking psychically.
Hello, officer. You have a choice. Whistle or your testes.
and coming through the air, just Oberly snatches the whistle and just takes off down the street.
You made the right choice if you want to continue to produce spermatozoa.
Right now, there's a very disoriented Italian police officer looking at a dog, taking his whistle, thinking maybe he's going crazy.
Spermatozoa.
Now, the other cop didn't really notice this. He kind of catches out of the corner of his eye, but he's focused on the shop. One hand is going inside his coat. Definitely, he's got a gun there.
Is that the one that Sven is talking to?
That he was, yeah. He's ignoring you, but yes. Public street, Todd. Murder.
Not murder.
Oh, well.
Sven has a well-rod MK pistol.
Oh, no.
Not murder. Let me talk about my gun.
Right, but he's going to use it for intimidation.
I've always found guns intimidating
Yeah.
because of the death. Now, what exactly are you doing? You're going to pull a gun on this guy
I'm gonna pull
and hold him at gunpoint?
Yes, I'm just going to pull the gun and kind of pull him closer to me and stick the gun into his side and be like, "We are acting casually."
Oh, okay. So you're going to try to not make a scene.
Yes.
Yeah, I think will and intimidation. Now, does the gun that you're using have subtle or hidden or any of those special qualities?
It is subtle.
Cool. Then I won't arbitrarily increase the difficulty of this.
My persuasion is 3, my will is 9, so we're going for a target number of 12.
So what we'll do an opposed roll. It'll be his will and resilience versus your intimidation and...
So Sven pulls his MK, he gets closer to the cop and he sticks it in his side, and he says, "Show, Mr. Police. I just got back from France where I killed a police. As a matter of fact, I have a punch card. If I kill 10 European cops in 10 different countries, then I win a prize."
It was actually Austria, but
But the point stands.
Actually turned into the Yellow King.
In
Like,
the-
don't move, Mr. Police.
in the future we go to France.
Oh, that's right. Sven doesn't,
You know, Germany, France.
Everywhere is France to him.
Okay, so you've got 2 dice. I've got 2 dice.
My target number is 12.
Mine is 8.
Sven rolled a 7 and a 14.
He passes out.
Nice.
He rolled an 18 and a 16.
Oh, wow.
Ooh.
Just, not even down, Shin. He's gone. Our one Italian listener is very mad now.
Sven pulls out a punch card and click.
So did he murder the cop in
No,
his sleep?
No,
he's just unconscious, just fainted.
It's a
okay.
technicality. He still gets credit.
Yeah, it's a case of the vapors. So now, inside, Austin, Pierre has composed himself a bit. And apparently, your womanly scream was unnoticed because no one is coming to the shop. Everything's fine.
So Pierre kind of meekly steps out the front door.
There's a crowd of people, Italians, around what you recognize as one of the plainclothes police officers. Someone's waving a handkerchief in his face. The other cop is running down the street after a dog, it looks like. Meanwhile, Sven and Sarah just standing across the road, just whistling innocently.
Hi.
Oh, hey there, gang. What you guys been up to?
I made this cop pass out and shit himself just by sticking a gun in his side.
I hopefully ate a whistle.
He ate a whistle?
He's going to have trouble passing that one.
Well, all right, fellas. I think I know where we got to go next. Pierre shows them the map with the circled lot next to the Adrian's mausoleum.
Sure.
He kind of subtly, since they're standing in a crowd, kind of shows them that, and look at this fucking thing. This is what, I got kind of spooked there for a second, and he pulls out this wrapped cloth, and it's got this cut off serpent man's hand in it.
That's just a crock paw.
Yeah, I want to show this to Special Agent Bussy or find out if they know anything about this.
You should show that to my friend Linda. Her name's Linda Hogan. I looked it up. That's the mother of Paul Hogan. A little bit of research.
You know, in Norway, when someone loses a hand, we replace it with a polar bear paw.
Well, so thanks to the atavistic revulsion of seeing this otherworldly hand, so you guys need to roll will and resilience to not freak out.
Because of the hand?
Yeah.
Even Sarah?
Yeah.
She's seen plenty of shit like this.
No, Sarah has never seen the hand.
Okay, well, y'all know
the
you're
severed
well
hand of a
traveled, but you haven't
serpent
been to
person.
Australia. They're everywhere.
And I did not realize
Yeah,
that.
they invented Foster's.
Well, Sarah was
The lizard people.
Invented what?
Foster's, this beer.
that's always holding the Foster's can is the serpent person.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. So roll your will plus resilience. Obstacle 1.
Sven's resilience is 4, his will is 9, so his target number is 13.
Sarah's will's 10. Her resilience is 1, 11. 8 and a 12, so 1 success.
Sven rolled a 7 and a 1.
Ooh,
You feel great about it.
that's 3 successes.
That's some momentum.
You only need one.
We need some momentum, so we should probably...
Yes.
You bank that.
Unless we can
Banking
do
two
something
momentum.
cool with the hand to make it like Thing from the Addams Family. Can we do that?
You cannot.
This hand is nothing. When I was a kid, my friend Johan lost his arm and they replaced it with a penguin flapper.
As you do, yes.
How much was Sven's home village like Midsummer? Okay, so what are you guys going to do? You're going to head back to the safe house?
So I would imagine we could drop these artifacts off, or at least the serpent hand off.
Sure, you probably don't want to be driving around in a car with just a serpent person hand for no reason.
Yeah,
I would
I
want to
mean-
drop that off. We'll keep the oak leaf stationery and the map because we'll need that to get to this archaeologist, Sabina Aloya.
So you guys head back to Lou Costello's house. Well, the villa he owns in Rome.
Right.
Take a look at this. I saw it.
Driving through the countryside, warm day in southern Italy. You make it back. You meet with Senior Agent Bussy. Everyone kind of makes a fuss about a serpent person hand, like people are crowding in because, you know, the Bureau has very few serpent people hands, but now they have one.
Well,
So Patton and your researcher and Habmeyer, the egghead, they immediately start debating over which of them should get to study it first. And finally, it's awarded to Patton after Habmeyer expresses interest in sending a couple thousand volts of electricity through it just to see what happens. So Senior Agent Buss says, Patton, you can have it first. So are you guys going to do anything at the safe house, or are you going to immediately go... I mean, it's still afternoon. You have plenty of daylight left.
Yeah,
So
I
where's-
think we'd want to go check out this archaeological dig while there's still daylight.
Sven does not appreciate the Italian climate. He's very hot.
Well, he hasn't taken his park off yet.
I mean,
Habmeyer just hands you a suitcase full of clothes that they've had prepared for you for weeks.
Sven undresses in front of everyone.
Wow, he's so pink.
And he chooses black pants and a form-fitting shirt that is black and white striped and a beret.
Okay.
Turns out he's not as bundled up as we thought. He just kind of looks like that.
Okay, so you guys head out in the car towards the Castel San Angelo, aka Hadrian's Mausoleum, which is a big tourist attraction, of course. And today, if you're there, you can look down the street, and it's a straight shot to St. Peter's Basilica and the famous courtyard. But that street was under construction at this time, according to this book. If that's historically inaccurate, I blame Modifius.
We'll ask Patreon subscriber Dan Soul.
There you go.
Yeah, he's English. He should know.
Yeah. It's like driving to Illinois for us, for him to go to Italy.
All right, so our first order of business is just going to be checking out this lot that's circled on Lucrezia and Paschino's map.
So you guys park the car a distance away, walk in, and this whole street is under construction. You can see the Vatican in the distance, but just partially down the street to the north, there's another construction zone, which is the one circled on the map. And while the main construction site is obviously Italian laborers, normal guys working a 9 to 5.
This one's making an Eiffel Tower. It's weird.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Hey, stop that.
The one that's circled on the map you recovered from Calavaro's is fenced in with guards in security towers and patrols around it. And all the workers are wearing gray, what you immediately think of as prison coveralls. And it is a dig site. There's a big tent set up over whatever they're excavating, because you see workers going in and then they're pulling wheelbarrows of material out and dumping it in big piles. But what they're doing, you're not sure. This is definitely not any sort of construction. They're digging something. So you guys are watching all this from around a corner. There's a bunch of boarded up buildings around this dig site. What would you like to do?
So I think the first thing we could do would be to observe the guards and kind of take a look at their patrol patterns. One thing Pierre would want to make sure to do, so I have a talent of subtle cues. If you have time to observe someone, I think it's for like a minute. If in the event that you have to make a persuade roll against them, you gain the first additional D20 for free. So just kind of
Cool.
observing the guards.
Now, where are you guys going to observe them from? I mean, it is...
A nook.
You're in the middle of Rome. There are
Yeah.
people everywhere. Lots of construction going on. And inside this compound, you do see German soldiers.
Yeah. So I have a camera in my spy tools.
Sure.
In this case, I would just get it out and pretend to be a tourist, kind of looking all around and using the zoom lens to kind of get a closer look at the comings and goings of the workers and the guards.
I pretend to be Pierre's wife, and I'm like, "Oh, look, honey, a fence! Get a pic of that!"
And this is a chain link fence, right? We can see through it.
Yes.
Meanwhile, Sven is standing there looking like a French mime with a bow and arrow strapped to his back.
As they do.
No one remarks upon this. Okay, Austin, what skill are you using to blend into the crowds and look like a tourist?
Insight and observation. This is going to be all
Okay.
based on instinct.
I mean, this is really to not be noticed, not so much the viewing part. If you make this roll, you can use your observation. This is for not being spotted by all the police
Oh, okay.
and Nazi soldiers.
Well, then I'll say I'll use insight and stealth. My stealth is a 2, and I do have a focus in disguise. So, I mean, we're in plain clothes anyway, so I think this counts.
Sure.
We're basically posing as tourists. So then I'd be trying to beat a total of 13.
Okay. Difficulty 2.
Can Sarah's ruse as the fence-obsessed wife be a help of some kind?
Yeah, I mean, you have to make a helping roll, of course.
Okay. So Sarah has a 9 in insight and a 1 in stealth, so target number 10, and I'm just rolling 1 dice, right, for helping?
Yeah.
Sarah got a 14. That's not a fence.
That's okay, because I rolled a 6 and a 12.
Ah.
Everybody is really looking at the Australian woman, which gives Pierre plenty of time to take some covert shots. So, Austin, now you can use your observation.
I'll show you a
to-
fucking fence. Come to the outback, you buggers.
to try to get some specific information.
All right, and this will be insight and observation.
Yeah, and you're looking for what precisely?
Everything from guard patrol patterns to notable figures. If I recognize any faces, try to figure out who's in charge. If we spotted, I assume we've seen a photograph after we were given this intel on the archaeologist Sabina Aloya.
Sure.
I assume we've seen a photograph of her where we'd recognize her.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, trying to make sure and see if we can spot her, see where these archaeologists, these diggers, these laborers are going.
There's not going to be a specific difficulty number. There's just going to be, for every success, I'll answer a question.
Okay.
But I'll tell you right off, one of the guards, James Earl Jones.
Oh, we darn.
Awesome.
Are you guys?
Austin, one of my special talents is bizarre insight.
I have that one too, actually.
So if we come up with a question that we need a very specific answer to, I can generate a threat once per scene and ask Kyle a question without a skill test, and he has to answer it.
Perfect. So then we've got 2 of those kind of banked. So yeah, I'll just see how much I can get. Are you guys cool with me spending a momentum and rolling a 3rd die here?
Yeah.
No. Sabina Aloya's Italian for sopping wet lunch meat. Hello. Expert.
All right. So my target number is a 14 here. All right. So there's a 12 and a 3, and my rank in observation is a 3. So that's 3 successes.
Even in Italy. Where they use like V's and I's for their numbers.
They don't actually do that anymore, but
Oh.
okay.
Okay.
All right.
But we're in Rome.
Yeah, fool. Fucking idiot. Kyle.
All right. So then the first order of business would be to kind of take a look at the guards patrols and see if there are any openings for actually getting into the dig site, if we spot any vulnerabilities, anything like that.
So if you look on the map that I provided you, there's the spoil heap where they're just piling all the dirt.
Yeah.
On the other side of that, where the fence abuts to the boarded up buildings, the guards never go over there.
Oh, okay. Good to know.
They also don't patrol between the barracks, the prisoner barracks and the site office. However, that is a more exposed position, but you theoretically could cut through the fence there.
Okay.
Though, I mean, that's like right in the street.
Yeah.
But otherwise, they patrol the entire perimeter.
Okay.
And it's black shirts during the day and German troops at night.
So then next question is, do we recognize the archaeologist, Sabina Aloya, anywhere? I assume we've seen a photograph of her
Sure.
up to this point.
So you guys watch this place for the rest of the day, and you do see Sabina Aloya come out of the site office at one point, get into a waiting car and leave.
Okay, which direction do they go?
Vaguely towards the university.
Okay.
There were a number of people in the car. Todd, Sven was in position to get a good look in the car when it came past. Do you have observation?
Yes, I have a 1 in observations.
Perfect. So you can use observation and reason
Okay.
because you're trying to place faces in the car as it goes by.
Sven's reason is an 8, and his observation is a 1, so we're looking at a target number of 9.
Difficulty 1.
Rolled a 9 and a 10, so 1 success.
There were 4 people in the car, 1 a driver. There was another man in black. You'd never seen him before.
But he had scales all over.
He had scales all over. No,
He had a hook.
he had a very close-cut military haircut. Didn't look Italian, looked German. Then there was, of course, Sabina Aloya, which you saw get into the car. And unless you've completely lost your mind, which this is Sven we're talking about.
Yes.
So it's not impossible. You could have sworn the other person in the backseat of the car with Aloya was Dr. Jameson Fitzlewis Hamlin,
Oh.
looking quite pale.
Oh no, he's joined Beethoven's army.
That's a deep cut for the podcast listeners.
Call back.
All right, so my final question comes
Sure.
down to if we happen to recognize any of the... So this map that you sent us,
Yeah.
it actually labels a distinction between a barracks building and a prisoner's barracks building.
Sure.
I assume we could just tell from looking that
Well,
there is a...
yeah.
There's like a chain gang roaming out.
The
out of
regular barracks building, they're doing a little dance outside. The prisoners are a bit downtrodden.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming these are the laborers coming in and out of the catacombs tent.
Yeah, they're-
Do we recognize any of the laborers?
So you do catch sight of one that looks like Amanda Powell, codename Lucretia.
Okay.
But given the amount of grime that the prisoner was covered in, it's hard to say.
If Lucretia is actually within this group of prisoners, I think that actually saves us a little bit of time because it means we don't actually have to get down into the whatever this dig site is in order to find out what they're doing. If we can get to her, we can just ask her.
Sven is like, guys, I saw the car that Sabrina was in. She was sitting next to the corpse of Hamlin.
She was shitting next to a corpse?
She was sitting next to a corpse. It was Hamlin.
I mean, we shit next to corpses all the time in Australia, but from what I hear in civilized countries, it's verboten.
No, it was just, it was not there. She was not voiding her bowels.
Oh.
She was shitting.
What's that now?
She was shitting in the car next
No,
to a
Oakley,
corpse.
not now. No. Oakley's like,
It is time. It is time.
He's been sniffing around for 30 minutes.
oh, I don't have any baggies with me. Oh, well, it's the 30s.
Well, then it's pretty clear to me, gents. I think we need to break Lucretia out of here. She'll be able to tell us what's going on and tell us what this dead guy's doing with the Germans.
Yeah, it's really freaky because back in Norway, when you take a taxi cab, you can actually pay a little extra to ride next to a corpse, but I don't think that's a normal thing in Italy.
Let's see.
I don't think it's a normal thing in most places. They're big shoots.
It's mainly for lonely people who have no one to talk to. They can talk to the corpse on their way to work.
Dear Lord.
I want you to be honest with me.
Specifically.
How often have you paid for this?
Sven makes his own corpses.
This is very necrobiotic.
Okay, so yeah, that's what I think we should do is try to break Lucretia out of this dig site.
Okay, so we know the spoil pile,
Yeah.
right? Just the pile of shit.
Dirt, but sure.
No, I was saying sit. Pile of sit. No, so I assume we're going to have to sneak to get over there, but Austin's good rolls should give us some kind of advantage to sneak over there, right?
Well, you know the route you can take.
Okay.
So there's your advantage.
Should we do that?
Yes.
So yeah, if the guards don't patrol over by the spoil piles, hey there, Operly. Wonder if you could see if there's any way for us to get across the fence over there where those boarded up buildings are there, buddy.
Sorry, Operly was looking at a spider.
So yeah,
I'm sorry. Yes.
could the dog maybe sniff out a place for us to get over? I'm thinking either there might be a hidden place where we could cut through the fence, or if the buildings are more than one story, is there a safe place for us to kind of jump out of one of the buildings and use the spoils pile as a safe landing?
That's always fun. I mean,
I encourage you.
I mean,
Nothing breaks your fall like dirt.
or if Pierre or Sarah would like to cut through the fence, Sven is more than willing to create a distraction by doing mime things.
Okay.
If you would like, I will dig us under the fence because I am dog.
Okay, so is he psychically telling us that?
yep.
So Operly's like our Martian manhunter. He's just got us all
Yeah.
psychically tethered. All right, so what I'm thinking is if the dog digs a way through, Pierre has a 13 in stealth, so I could try to sneak in around the spoils pile while Sven tries to draw a crowd up to the front gate area as a distraction.
Sven will do mime.
Yeah. If he causes a distraction and draws a crowd, I could try to sneak in to the actual dig site, and then could Sarah maybe provide fire support from like a second story window? Could she snipe somebody if they get close to like spotting me or something?
Yep.
Okay. Well, then that's what we're going to do.
So you guys would need to find a path through the boarded up buildings, dilapidated, derelict buildings.
Okay. What are we rolling for that?
So that'd be coordination and observation.
Okay. I've got a 14 total in that, unless anybody can beat that.
And I guess we can help each other in this, right?
Yeah,
Since we're
whoever
going
is
together.
going into the building. It wouldn't be a position where Sven could help because he wouldn't
Okay.
see
Yeah.
what was going on. but-
Operly and Sarah are definitely going with.
Yes.
Okay.
And this is difficulty 2.
Okay.
So do you want to assist?
Yeah, I think both of us could.
Okay.
Okay, Operly's coordination and observation is a total of 8. One of the few things he's not great at. Sarah's coordination and observation is a 12. And it's just one D20 apiece.
Well, I'd
so-
say Sarah can help. Operly's not going to be much help because he's a dog and his
What?
eyesight is not great.
Yeah, but he smells well.
He does. all he can smell right now is Italian food.
Just
Delicious sausages.
Fair enough.
okay.
All right. And my target number is a 14.
Ooh, Sarah got a 14. No help from Sarah.
So I just rolled a 13 and a 19.
So that's a complication and a failure.
All right, so I'm going to actually spend a fortune and re-roll that 19.
Okay.
Well, that's a 15.
God damn you. Okay, Sarah's going to spend a fortune too.
To reroll hers?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a 7.
Nice. Thank you, Corey.
So you guys are about to take a turn that will lead you right into a group of Germans having lunch on the east side of the dilapidated building when Sarah notices the distinct smell of bratwurst and sauerkraut on the breeze. And and stops Pierre, and you guys make your way through the darkness.
That's not canned meat.
Sven's going to be so fucking sad he missed the sausages.
And you get to what used to be an office, and there's broken out windows, and right on the other side is the chain link fence. And, of course, the spoil pile beyond that. And it is night. I mean, you guys watched it all day. You can hear the German soldiers yelling at one another. And before you came into the building to try to advance stealthily, you had seen all the prisoners file into the barracks. Apparently, they do not dig at night. So, Operly's going to dig under the fence, correct? Is that the game plan?
Yeah.
He's a dog. There's no need to run.
Yeah, just like the Great Escape. Yeah.
5 minutes. I mean, this is a chain link fence in 1939. It does not go 10 feet down into the ground. And,
Yeah, it's made of wicker back
Yeah,
then.
a swift breeze is going to knock it over. And Pierre scuttles under like a chitinous crab.
Chitness. Yeah.
I've never been sure on how to pronounce it.
Yeah, well.
If only there was an episode where I could hear it repeatedly, it'd probably get stuck in my head. And
Yeah, fuck you guys.
Pierre scuttles under, climbs up over the spoil heap, and he can see the layout of the camp under him, guards moving around.
Okay.
And now also you just need to make a stealth roll. You could also see a mime approaching the gates.
All right. So I'm assuming I'll have to make my stealth roll after we've seen how successful his diversion is.
Well, you guys can roll at the same time because you are on a timetable here, and you're just assuming Sven is going to competently
Okay.
mime direct these guys.
Sven is going to use his persuasion,
Sure.
which is a 3, and his, let's go with coordination.
Well, you're doing mimes. Sure.
Yeah. So that's a target number 13.
Yeah, it's an art.
And I'm going to use our other momentum to roll a third die.
Okay, so there's 2 German guards in front of the gates smoking cigarettes because this is 1939. And Sven is coming up. You hear, "Warum hat der Pantomime einen verdammten Pfeil und Bogen?" Which is German for, why does the mime have a fucking bow and arrow?
All right. So my total target number for stealth is going to be 13.
Okay, you are at difficulty 3.
Okay.
And what is Sven's difficulty?
It'd be you're just helping him.
Yeah.
So any successes you get go to him.
Okay, so yeah, my target number is 13.
Okay, since Sarah is watching from above, can we say that they set up some kind of safe word that she will shout from the rooftops?
I start to say, does Operly have us psychically tethered to be able to guide me?
We can do that.
Yeah.
He'd have to roll for it, probably.
Yeah, that won't be a helping roll.
Because he's not in harm's way, right?
He's not in harm's way. Yeah, if you
But he can alert, and I think a dog bark wouldn't be as alerting as an
Yeah.
Australian woman screaming.
Yeah, I'll say if you can roll the psychic power to set the connection up, that'll reduce the difficulty by 1.
Okay. So I'll have to roll for that because it's his thought sending skill
Yeah.
is difficulty 1.
Yeah. So roll your psychic power stuff.
Operly's psychic link is will and observation, so that's a 13. That's a 1 and an 11, so that's 3 successes.
Kick ass.
Okay.
Nice roll, Corey.
Dog.
Operly's
dog.
mind overwhelms Pierre, and
He gets down on
Oh
all
my God.
fours.
Start scratching
No.
my ass.
so Austin, your roll is difficulty 2. You and Todd can roll now to set up the distraction and the
Okay.
stealth.
Question. He rolled 3 successes, just needed 1. Does that give us momentum?
Well, yeah.
All right, so I'm rolling 3d20. Target number's 13.
What sort of mime routine is Sven doing?
Well, you know how most mimes do things like walking in the wind, trapped in a box,
Sure.
Pulling on the rope. Sven's idea of mime is to mime like disemboweling the black sun, decapitating someone.
No, I get it.
yeah.
Yeah, Norway will.
Norway
Yeah.
mime. And his target number is 13.
All right, here we go.
Sven rolled a 3.
Wow, they are into it.
I rolled a 12.
That is the most enthusiasm you can have while watching Mimery.
That's the extent.
Wow.
It does not go past that.
Wow, I am into this.
Well, they're German, right? I
Yeah.
mean, so they're going to enjoy it, like miming, disemboweling someone, or
Yeah.
I want to invest in this emotionally without displaying any emotion at all.
Oh, by the way, Sven's persuasion is a 3, and he rolled a 3, so that's
You give 2 successes
Two
to as a
successes.
man boy.
yes.
Okay, so that's one more momentum.
Yep.
And then I rolled a 12, a 5, and a 7, all of
Nice.
which fall
Dear
under my
Lord,
target number.
We're terrific.
So that gets 2 more momentum.
No wonder the American government trusts us to do these things.
With the Mission Impossible theme music playing.
He's humming it to himself.
Yeah.
Pierre is.
Pierre somersaults down this spoil heap.
So he's writing it because it hasn't happened.
Scrambles.
Yeah, my
Like
other
a-
name is Lalo Schifrin.
I always thought that song sounded Canadian.
Scrambles across the open center of this camp. Searchlights passing around him. He ducks into the shadows between the prisoner barracks and the side office. He's about to step out when he hears the squeak of hinges, goes into hiding. 2 officers come out of the side office, smoking, speaking in German, walking towards the barracks. Once they're out of sight, he slips into the prisoner barracks, looks around, and spots Lucretia, a.k.a. Amanda Powell, sitting in her bunk, drifting to sleep. The other prisoners, there's dozens of people in here, are all exhausted, muttering to themselves, trying to get some sleep. No one pays any attention to this shadow that just entered.
So Pierre sneaks across the room over to the side of Lucretia's bed.
That's Pierre's nickname, the Maple Shadow.
I don't know why, but I just pictured like the way they crept in like silent movies, like just dinky dinky.
Yeah.
So when Canadians tiptoe,
Wow.
it actually looks the way you picture it in cartoons. And
Sure.
Pierre sneaks over to the side of Lucretia's bed and, trying to use the wording she used in her note, says, someone sent me to come help our sister because there's too many sausages in the pantry.
Ooh, that's creepy. She's in bed, sir.
Her eyes open real wide. and she doesn't say anything, but you get the impression her brain just asked, who the fuck is this?
You just invented being horny in the DMs.
And she manages a week. Hello?
Yeah, hey there.
Yeah.
I'm a Majestic agent.
Canadian pickup line.
We were sent to come and find you and Pasquino.
Oh, okay. Well, you're a bit late.
Well, yeah, I can see that, but I hoped you might be able to tell me what they're doing in here.
She looks around and no one is paying any attention to you. No, everybody's sleeping, coughing, hacking, a lot of dust in the lungs. And she explains that a couple of weeks ago, some Italian archaeologists made a discovery in the catacombs after some construction they were doing here opened up a new passageway. Then some Germans arrived. She and Pasquino tried to figure out what they were doing. They got caught, and they got shuffled in with the rest of the political prisoners doing the dig. And she explains that there are things in the catacombs that seem to come out of nowhere and attack the prisoners. And there's been fights between, initially it was the black shirts, and that's why they brought in some crack German troops. She knows a couple of bodies. She hasn't been present in any of the attacks, but she knows they're moving the bodies to a hospital because that's where she and Pasquino stole one of the hands of these creatures. But she hasn't seen any since she's been working here.
So what happened to Pasquino?
She says, I haven't seen him in days. I think he escaped. I'm not sure.
All right, well, if you're down for it, I'm here to get you out of here.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what they're looking for, but I'm ready to not be a part of them finding it.
All right, then let's go. I think we got enough momentum.
Meanwhile, silently, Sven is continuing his mime routine, and using that he has glimpsed what mortals should not know, and he is doing a mime routine based on what he knows the afterlife is. So he is like enacting the fact that all humans will be slaves to eldritch horrors for all of eternity in the next life.
Todd, I know this is a audio podcast, but just for us, can you mime that for us?
It's not quite like this, but like that.
I'll take video and post it on the Patreon. That'll be a boost.
Yeah.
So Sven is really into this, which is why he misses the car and the trucks coming.
Oh.
And the guards push him out of the way as they open the gates. A black Mercedes rolls in with a cargo truck behind it. Doors open. More German troops are disembarking. Sabina Aloya steps out of the car, cleaner than she was previously. The man in black that Sven had seen earlier is now in his full SS officer's uniform with his Nachtwolf insignia. It is Obergruppenführer Roscoff Smythe.
No!
Oh, no.
And behind him, in a dapper suit, Jameson Fitzlewis Hamlin, Esquire Zombie.
Oh, okay.
And Smythe starts screaming orders in German. Get the prisoners out! We will continue digging! Beatings will continue until morale improves! I will find Cyclopeus! Tonight!
Sounds like a Walmart manager.
Yeah, so he's just screaming and Pierre looks out one of the windows, and there's a squad of German soldiers running towards the barracks, no doubt to roust all the prisoners out, and we will end there.
Operly shouts psychically,
Achtung!
Oh, good Operly.
he's a good boy.
Well, hey, thanks you for listening. I hope you enjoyed listening to this episode of Shadows of Atlantis, Achtung Cthulhu.
Fun, a little espionage. We've yet to battle yet, but methinks it's a-coming.
Yep. Getting close.
Just to give
Gonna
you an
be
idea,
some scrapping.
there's probably 50 or 60 German troops in this camp. So, FYI.
Yeah.
We're good.
I say,
We're good.
I think we're not done sneaking yet.
Yeah,
I thought you were going to say there's 50 or 60 more episodes of this coming.
yeah, well,
This is
not
just
G.I. Joe. Well, if history's taught us nothing, Germans are pushovers.
Sure. No, it's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, a number of Patreon members showed up in this episode.
Yes, thank you, Patreon members, for your continued generosity. You continue to make our lives bountiful.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Thanks for all you do. Thanks for your support.
Yeah, we all quit our jobs.
Yeah, exactly.
That's not true.
You know, the other day I was kind of sad, and then I thought, hey, Patreon, and I felt better.
And Ross Smith, I'm sorry for making you a Nazi again, but
Yeah,
Or
but,
at least reprising your
Yeah.
character.
but technically this is like Temple of Doom, so it takes place before our quick trip to France.
Yes.
So,
Which means you might die again. Who knows?
Yeah, and this may be why Oprah hates him so much.
could be. It could be.
We all know how he ends up, so that's nice.
Yeah. And thank you to our sponsor.
Barrel and Bond, 100 Broadway, downtown Paducah. It's a bourbon bar, but they got small plates, good pimento cheese, chocolate cookies.
Deviled eggs.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Charcuteries.
And the bathroom excavations are almost done.
Yeah.
More people than you would expect coming out of the bathroom.
Yeah.
Wheelbarrows full of dirt.
Actually, they refer to the bathroom now as the spoil pile.
Or the sitting room in
If you get in
Norway.
undetected, your first old fashioned's free.
And thank you to our listeners.
Yes, thank you all. Even if you don't give us money, we still look on you somewhat kindly.
Yes.
And we love hearing from you when you tell us about your favorite episode or your favorite moment.
Yeah,
Yes.
please.
Yeah, absolutely.
But that'll do it.
All right. Thanks. I'm Kyle.
Todd.
Corey.
Austin.